All right, you guys,
So
I
big.
hope that you're subscribed to this podcast. If you're not subscribed to this podcast, what are you doing with your life? Sit down, look at yourself in the mirror and say, self, what am I doing? This is a morbidly obese show. You're going to have to take it chunk by chunk, you guys. We're going
There's
to
a
throw it
lot.
at you piece by piece. You're going to have to take nibbles of it and just ingest it and digest piece by piece. Get your coffee. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Everybody get boned up because it is
Get
a fat, meaty show today.
It's a show.
You guys, and I am so sorry. I have forgotten to do gifts at the end of the last like 7 shows, and I've meant to, and I keep forgetting. Like every time we bring it in, cash flaps, and I my mind is elsewhere, and I just forget. And so I am not going through like a huge show and tell, but I am thanking 3 specific people who are way overdue for thanks, and those people are Mean Jean, who sent the most awesome, amazing like gift bag of Valentine's goodies. Amazing. Mean
I
Jean,
bet I have
thank
it
you so
too.
much.
I bet
I
mine
know you
is
do.
waiting for me. And I suck because this week has been the busiest week and I have not made it to my PO. You guys, I did a speaking engagement last night, which is weird. I never do those. It's been that kind of a week. Like it's crazy. Everything's been crazy. So I'm going to thank everybody tomorrow. It's just forgive both of us. Forgive us.
It's just we suck. Okay, we just really suck.
We do.
So Mean Jean, Renee Nadeau, she sent a gift card for Cheesecake Factory, which I mean, I will use that.
Yeah, for cheesecake.
Oh my gosh, that was so
just
sweet.
for the cheesecake.
I mean, I just can't. And then Susan P, I do have to show this because this is the cutest t-shirt ever. It's so cute.
Oh my God, I love it. So you.
I just love it. And so you guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much from the bottom of our cold black heart.
They're cold and black. I mean, I swear I'm going to go today. I told Mark, I said, I may have to take a nap today. I mean, it's that kind of week. Like I haven't slept. I've been running around. I went to Baylor. I actually spoke to like Baylor conservative girls last night, you guys. It's like, they're out there. They exist. Anyways,
they're there.
I'm running on fumes. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be lit today. Let's do it.
Yeah, we do have a lot to get to. And so much of it is so fun. You're not going to understand my name until the very end. So I'm just putting that out there now.
Stay tuned. Mm-hmm.
My name is Moxon X today. You'll understand that at the end. Did want to mention a couple things right out of the gate that have nothing to do with the videos necessarily. But the first thing is, I don't know how many of you watched the Meghan Markle, Prince Harry documentary on Netflix. Daisy and I watched it together. And because you were here in town when that premiered. And so we watched it together. And if you guys watched it, then you probably remember that Meghan Markle tried to pretend as if she had just no interest, no idea who was even in the royal family, no interest whatsoever. Prince Harry, who? I've never heard of him. That was her attitude. Okay. It was ridiculous because everybody with a brain knew better. Well, now there's proof. So somebody found a archived blog post because she used to have a website called The Tig, and she did all kinds of lifestyle influencing on it. So she apparently had written a whole blog post about all the hullabaloo surrounding Kate and William's wedding and how most girls dream of becoming a princess one day, but unlike most girls, she dreamt of becoming a rebel princess and like being powerful and like making all kinds of waves and she like ripped the monarchy. I mean, like there's all kinds of evidence that she knew exactly the entire family, all the, I mean,
so it was foreshadowing.
Liar. Yeah.
It was basically foreshadowing. And she was like, I want to be Yoko.
Right.
Congratulations.
So I just kind of love that. Yeah. I just love that story is out there.
Tig. Yeah, it's the Tig, Paul.
Yeah, the Tig. It's not a thing anymore, although she's been threatening to bring it back to life. So we'll see. Anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Raquel Welch, unfortunately, passed away after a brief illness. I don't know what the illness was. She was 82. She passed away yesterday. So that is really sad.
And you know what? She looked completely awesome until the very end.
Yeah, she did.
It's remarkable. She was like a grade A hottie.
For real. Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that is sad. Jim Jordan has subpoenaed. So this is official now. Jim Jordan has subpoenaed all the big heads from big tech. So we're talking Zuckerberg. We're talking Sundar Pichai. Is that how you say the Google
I
guy's
don't
name?
know.
Let's see. Tim Cook from Apple.
Mhm.
Somebody from Amazon, somebody from Microsoft, all the big tech heads have been subpoenaed to come to Congress and show any communications, any documents related to any, coordination with the government to censor and block conservatives. So it's happening, which is great. There's some movement on that front, which is awesome. So those are some of the big stories that are happening before we get to videos. Also need to mention that if you missed the Valentine's Day sale at genucel.com/chicks, no worries. They have extended it. They're calling it a blowout sale. They've extended it so that the most popular package, which includes all the really good stuff, still 70% off. You still can get a beauty box that has 2 free gifts in it with your order. That's for free. And don't forget that also, if you order the most popular package, the microbiome moisturizer, this new moisturizer that they have, which it's so good,
So
chock
good.
full of probiotics. They throw that in there for free. So it's a great time to try Genucel if for some reason you still haven't. Like, what?
Yeah.
There can't be anybody in this audience that hasn't tried it yet.
And I think Immediate Effects is in there too, right?
Yeah.
That stuff is the
Immediate
best.
Effects 2.
Immediate Effects 2 is awesome. I put that stuff because listen, if you have no sleep, it makes you look like you've had like a little bit of sleep. It's good. It's great stuff, you guys.
It is good stuff. Check it out, genucel.com/ All right, you guys ready to get into some newsy?
So ready. Let's dive right in.
All right, so a couple more serious news topics to kick us off. One is that Norah O'Donnell did a report, and others too, but this is the clip that I have, is of Norah O'Donnell talking about some revelations about this original Chinese spy balloon and the timing of when this president and his administration actually knew about it. This is pretty amazing. Take a listen.
News tonight on that Chinese spy balloon. CBS News has just learned that U.S. intelligence watched the high-flying airship as it lifted off near China's south coast. That means the U.S. military had been tracking it for nearly a week before it entered U.S. airspace, longer than originally known. CBS's Nancy Cordes is at the White House. So, Nancy, they were watching this from the beginning?
They were, Nora, and what they saw was this balloon heading east from China towards Guam and Hawaii. But then it took a sharp northward turn, a beeline towards Alaska. They also revealed today that the 3 subsequent objects they shot down probably were not involved in spying.
I mean,
okay,
they had all that time.
They didn't shoot down the one that was spying on us. And they let that like complete its mission, and they were totally cool. They watched it the whole time. And then the ones that they didn't think were spying, they shot down.
Right. The ones that are like probably off of used car lots, just like random balloons.
And
they
Chuck
were like,
Schumer,
oh my God, emergency, shoot him down.
Yeah, Chuck Schumer's out there going, this was all a big success. Everything's a big success. It's like, great. It's a total win for the Biden administration. These people are such losers. It's unbelievable. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So if you thought Biden, for them to act as though, oh yeah, there was strategery involved in like how the timing of when we shot it down, bull. They were watching it and ignoring the fact that they were just letting China suck up all this intelligence on us. And then they were like, okay, maybe people are noticing it now, so we should probably do something. If somebody in Montana hadn't actually taken video, none of this would have ever even happened, right? We would all be in the dark still.
Yeah, because it also solidifies the fact that Biden is BFFs with China.
Yeah. I mean, it's just fail on every front. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this story that I believe originated from the Washington Examiner about this whole list of conservative websites that have been basically fact checked into oblivion. And it's a government funded fact-checking mission. So Microsoft and the government were like funding this fact-checking organization and putting labels and algorithmic sort of advertising limits on specific conservative websites, many of which you have heard of, including ours. So we're very, very proud to be on this list of disinformation websites. It includes
disinformation,
all the bigwigs, right? Like the Daily Wires, the Newsmaxes, everybody
Daily
you
Caller,
can think of.
Yeah.
And so I've got a little update on that. Here it is.
Contributor. Gabe, what else can you tell us about the government money that's going to this organization and how it's being used?
Yeah, thanks for having me, Laura. Our series in the Washington Examiner, Disinformation Inc., has unpacked how the United States government, specifically the State Department, has funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars through the Global Engagement Center, as well as the National Endowment for Democracy, which is heavily backed by the State Department, to an entity called the Global Disinformation Index, which is secretly compiling blacklists of conservative media outlets and feeding those to advertising companies with the intent of defunding and shutting down the free and independent press. And so our series has essentially linked taxpayer dollars to efforts to target the First Amendment.
Well, Miranda, the State Department has been the site of so much mischief, and that's to put it kindly, over the decades. I mean, since I worked for the Reagan administration, that's how long ago it goes back. State Department's been a problem.
Very excited to be included. Among that esteemed
I'm
company.
excited. I'm excited too. I know that we disagree on this, but I think it'd be awesome if there was like a class action lawsuit and we were involved and we walked in like Elle Woods. We're like, "What's up, everybody?" And they were like, "Who are those chicks?" And we were like, "What's up, bitches?"
I hate lawsuits, though. I hate legal.
I hate them too.
Stuff. I hate all of it.
I don't want to have to pay for it. I just want to be involved.
That's the thing. I don't want to have to pay any lawyers.
If all the bigwigs could pay for it, and then we could just sort of like tag along, you know what I mean? We could just show up and be all cute.
Give us our portion of the proceeds now. Thank you.
be like in our cute little outfits and just show up and just be like, "Hey, we've been around for 14 years. We've just been hanging out. I know none of you guys have like ever heard of us, but we just want to like, we've just been working really hard on the down low." And we just show up and just wave to everybody, just say hi to all the Daily Wire and the Daily Caller and all like the big wigs and the Laura Ingrams and the Sean Hannitys and, you know, all those big people. And we just say hi to all of them. It'd be kind of cool to be in the same room with all those people, don't you think?
Well, I mean, it's very exciting to be included in such great company, because what it means is that global disinformation index actually thinks that we are influential enough that we should be shut down. Right. You know what I mean? Like, that is a huge compliment.
Well, yeah, they've suppressed us. They have been suppressing us from making a living.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's right. And so
that's right. We do need reparations.
Yeah,
that's right.
it's not okay. It's totally not okay. I mean, it's one thing to suppress Ben Shapiro, but it's another thing entirely to suppress us. I'm just like a woman living in Texas. You know what I mean? Not okay. It's just not okay.
But so, also, it's great. Right. So like we're just so happy. I feel like it's Oscars. We're just so happy to share the stage with all of these other people.
Happy to be here, everybody. Happy to be here. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you see from my headline that, yes, we are fighting apparently with Chris Cuomo. You guys, this is so ridiculous. So yesterday there was the New York Post put out an article about Chris Cuomo recently doing an interview talking about when he got fired from CNN. And apparently, and he's still in the middle of legal battles and suing everybody and trying to get as much money as he can out of that contract. But what he said in the interview is that he was so upset about being fired that he was going to kill people and himself. And so that's a pretty big thing to say, right? Like if you're that angry that you were thinking about killing everybody and killing yourself, that's kind of that's just not something that normal people say out loud. I don't think.
Joke.
Yeah, so the New York Post did a piece about it. Now, they know as well as any other news organization that if it bleeds, it leads. They're going to lead with the biggest like soundbite of that story, obviously. So that was the headline. It says, the New York Post headline says, Chris Cuomo. You know what? I'm going to share my screen because you guys need to see the punctuation. This becomes important and you'll understand why in a minute. Okay, so the New York Post, let me see if I can bring this up. I don't know if that's too small to read, but the New York Post.
We can.
Okay. So it says Chris Cuomo, single quote, I was going to kill everybody and myself, unquote, after CNN firing. So Chris Cuomo retweets it. He's super mad, right? And he says, see the single quotes? That means characterization, not direct quote. The Post doing what it does. The truth, we all struggle. We all have to deal with upset and anger. I am no different. That is the point. You get it. They twist it. So it goes. So I'm thinking, wait a minute. Is he trying to say he didn't say that? Like they're mischaracterizing what he said and that's what a single quote means? Because I was like, what? And so I wanted to see if that was right. Like, did they mischaracterize what he said? Well, here is the audio. Okay. So you can listen to what he said for yourself.
Learned to accept it. I had to accept because I was going to kill everybody, including myself. Things can consume you. Italians are so passionate. And I really had to fight against that because, just like you did, I got too many people counting on me.
I mean,
it sounds like I was going to kill everybody, including myself.
Those are his words.
Those
right?
Like
there's no
words.
mischaracterizing that.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote him back. I replied to his tweet and I said, and I attached the audio and I said, I'm confused. How is the actual quote meaningfully different? I mean, I would understand if you were being hyperbolic. But that's not your excuse here, because I actually would. I would, if he would have come out and said, listen, it's a figure of speech. I probably shouldn't have said it. I was obviously not actually thinking I was going to murder anyone. I just was super mad and I was trying to
blamed it on being Italian. I mean, what the hell? Like Italians are out there going, can you not lump us all in with you being an ass?
Right.
I mean, seriously. I feel bad for all the Italians out there.
But I mean, he's trying to say it was about a single quote. Like he's making this a punctuation thing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, no, here's actually what you said. Explain how what the New York Post said you said is different, because I don't get it. He immediately writes back to me, you guys. Okay. He immediately writes back. I don't know why, but I had this thought, I'm going to screenshot this because first of all, I can't believe Chris Cuomo is actually engaging me. But I also thought, he better not delete this. So he wrote back. I'm going to share my screen again. This is what he wrote back. I never said that. It is a mischaracterization of my relaying how you have to decide what you learn to do with pain and hurt. So you can choose not to get it. But the point is obvious. I need no excuse. You do for buying their BS.
Oh my God, shut up.
And I'm like, what
my God.
BS am I buying? I'm just listening to you.
And if he needs no excuse, then he needs to quit blaming it on being Italian too.
Or
seriously.
blaming it on punctuation.
Right. Punctuation and or being Italian. He's blaming
it naturally, I retweeted that. And I was like, why did you delete this? I'm just trying to understand what was mischaracterized. Were you being hyperbolic? What are you suggesting was misquoted? And now he's quiet.
He's ignoring you. He's ignoring you. He's blocked you. Has he blocked you?
He hasn't blocked me yet, but I don't if you're going to take the time to reply, why did he delete it? Why did he delete it immediately? He has to know, because he probably wrote that and then was like, oh, there's the audio of me. I'm going to listen to it and listened to it and was like, oh crap, I did.
No, what he knows is he's wrong. And so that's why he deleted it. People delete things because they're like, oh shit, I'm wrong. I'm going to delete that. I shouldn't have put that up. Or, you know what I mean? There's something wrong with what I put out there. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take it down, which is what he did.
But I mean, he's not deleting the whole initial denial
but he deleted the comment to you.
Right. He deleted the comment to me.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he was just like, why am I even talking to this person?
I heard they were on that list though.
Right. I don't know if you guys know this, but we're
on a list. We're on a disinformation list. I don't know. So yeah.
Oh my God. Anyway,
Also
it's just
crazy.
everything about there's a lot going on today, you guys.
So much.
But that should not distract you, by the way. If you've been thinking about this whole debt ceiling discussion and how that might impact you, how it might impact your finances, you can learn so much information for free from our friends at Birch Gold. If you just text the word chicks to 989898, they're going to send you a free information kit about what it means to diversify into precious metals. It is so, so helpful. And it is broken down in a way that is so easy to understand for people who are not financially oriented. And I count myself among those people. They break it down in a way that makes so much sense. And they're just there to educate you. So it's why Ron Paul, for example, a huge, huge fan of Birch Gold specifically, because their mission is to educate. So if you want to learn more, excuse me, text chicks to 989898, get your free information kit, and then maybe you'll decide that opening up a gold IRA, for example, is something that is right for you. Get the information, get informed. Thank you, Donna. Thank you very
Donna.
much for that. Okay, Nikki Haley. We talked about her yesterday. I know there's lots and lots of mixed feelings about Nikki Haley. A lot of people love her. A lot of people don't love her. There was a huge thread that I saw on Twitter about her yesterday and about her announcement. And I was reminded of a lot of things that I disagree with Nikki Haley about, things that she's done that I disagree with. And listen, as much as we like her as a person, because we do, like,
Yeah, she's a nice lady. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very much like her on a personal level. You guys know who my number one is. So, you know, it's not that I don't see myself voting for her in a primary, at least right now. I mean, I got my sights set on somebody who hasn't even declared yet. But anyway, I know a lot of people have very, very strong feelings about Nikki Haley. Her campaign did not get off to a good start yesterday. And she was on Sean Hannity last night. He asked her a very reasonable question, which you will hear. And the way that she politicianed out of it was just, it was a disappointment, you guys. It wasn't the answer that she can continue to rely on. I'll put it that way. She's going to have to do a lot better going forward. I'll let you judge for yourself. Here it is.
Country agreed with us today.
Let me go back to my original question, though, because anybody that is looking or seeking a nomination, you're going to be comparing and contrasting your policy positions, your views, what direction you want to take the country with your competitors. Right now, there's former President Trump is the only other candidate for the nomination. We expect many others, maybe even Mike Pompeo, who was on earlier in the program today. Where do you see, if you see, policy differences beyond what you mentioned, which are generational differences? What specific policy areas would you say part with Donald Trump?
What I am saying is I don't kick sideways. I'm kicking forward. Joe Biden is the president. He's the one I'm running against. And what I'm saying is you don't have to be 80 years old to be president. We don't need to have these same people going back again. We need something new. We need a new generation of fighters. We need people that understand where the American, your average American, is coming from. And we shouldn't be afraid to fight for that. And that's what I'm willing to do. I'm not going to kick sideways. I don't have time for that. That's not my focus. I'm kicking forward. It's all about Joe Biden, and it's all about the people in America winning again. And that's why we want everybody to go to NikkiHaley.com, because we're in this to win it.
But she has to kick sideways.
She has to. That's what a primary is.
Right. You have to do that. That's the whole point of a primary. So you got to learn, you got to be able to like tie bow it sideways.
Right.
And then tie bow it to the front, man.
Oh my
That's
God.
Like,
tie
you know I mean?
bow.
You got to tie bow it. You got to tie bow it everywhere. That's just.
She's got to go full
You got
Billy
to
Blank.
roundhouse kick it. You got to roundhouse. You got to do all of them. That's just part of the game. So that, I mean, I hate to say that about this, but you got to like kick it everywhere, which is what, Trump was willing to do that. I know that DeSantis will be willing to do that if he jumps. I don't even know if DeSantis is going to get in this.
Wouldn't you like to know? His laugh, man. I will never get over
This is the thing. I mean, it's like he may just be sitting back watching and going, I don't know if I want to get into the shit show. because I may just watch and see what everybody else does. It may not, we don't know. We're just assuming. I don't know. The thing about her is that she needs to understand that the primary is going to be like, it's probably going to even be crazier than the general.
Yeah.
It's like, because I mean, Biden is the least of your concerns. It is.
And think about it. Like right now, her and Trump are the only two in the race officially. And so she can't just be like, I
No.
love everything Trump did, and I'm going to do those
Trump
same
will
things.
tear
I'm
you-
just younger. Like you
Trump-
can't, that can't be your argument.
because
you
Trump will
have to
tear
be
her
able-
apart.
You
Trump will-
have to be able to say, here is where I differ
Right.
from my direct competition. And if she's only going to say I'm younger and I have a vagina, then she's participating in the very identity politics that she rails against,
Right.
rightly.
Yeah.
And so that was just like,
Yeah. And he
I
will,
don't like
and
that.
Trump will destroy her in a primary. He will tear
Yeah.
her apart because he is not, he's not nice when it comes to this stuff. He will play dirty and he knows how to fight, and you got to be willing to fight. If she's not going to kick sideways, well, then he will kick you right in the face. He doesn't care if you're wearing heels. So good luck with that, you know?
That's the thing. And you guys, I mean, that's, one clip, right? Like that's an interview that she was actually on with Sean Hannity. There's tons of other people. There were tons of other news shows and talking heads talking about her. And all of them were universally saying, this is it. Like she's just running on her age. That's not enough. Like she's gonna have to
And
come up with
womanhood.
some substance. Yeah.
And womanhood. I mean, because the thing is that her record is a lot of Pompeo and Trump's record.
Exactly.
Like her experience is based on a lot of like their accomplishments too, because she was there with them. So she has to differentiate herself. She has to, and it has to be more than just, I'm a woman and I'm younger. It has to be more than that. You got to take something from you. What is your record? Where is it? What are your accomplishments? What did you do that was separate from what they've done?
Yeah. And
so
then
she
how are
had-
you going to explain your immediate support for Bubba Wallace with the whole news thing? How are you going to explain taking down monuments, being the first,
Right.
being the OG actually of taking down monuments? Like,
Yeah.
she's going to have a lot of tough things
Mhm.
that she's got to answer. She cannot dance her way around those
No.
questions.
No.
So it was a rough start. Now, all that said, Ann Coulter is so mean.
She's
Like,
pretty mean. we won't retell you the story of how we spent some time in a green room with her. But we spent some time in a green room with her once. At, what was it, CNN? Was it CNN?
Yeah, CNN.
It was not a fun
She was
time.
not nice.
She's not
But
nice.
man, I mean, listen, I feel like what we're doing right now is we're being critical of Nikki Haley for specific things. Okay.
Right.
What you're about to hear, I don't even know whose radio show she said this on. What you're about to hear is just mean. I mean, it's just the meanness ever. Listen.
Nikki Haley, I made this whole speech yesterday. Anybody that's ever known her, worked with her, will tell you she's the most ruthless, treacherous, backstabbing snake in the world.
What?
But then all these political people are calling me and saying, what does that have to do with anything? That's perfect for politics. That's not a disqualification to run. What do you think?
That none of those words would have been the word I'd use for her. Mine is shorter and simpler. It's bimbo.
Okay.
She's an absolutely ridiculous character, and the only people say they support her are people who probably genuinely are sexist. And, I support the girl. Oh, good for you. You like girls. No, she's utterly, completely, preposterously ridiculous.
What in the world is her beef with her? Like,
Yeah.
wow, that was,
It was mean.
and it went on and on. Like, that's only a little clip of it. That was just mean.
Yeah. Yeah. She's she just comes out every once in a while to like say awful things.
And then
You know
I
what I mean?
forget. And then I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm not necessarily a fan.
Mhm. Yeah.
Dang, you guys.
Mhm.
Holy cow. Okay. So anyway, Nikki got off to a little bit of a rough start. We'll see what happens. Again, it's just a 2-person race right now. And so we'll just
There's gonna be more.
watching that. Yeah, there's going to be more. There's going to be a
There's
lot
gonna
more.
so many more.
Oh, which reminds me, I was kind of actually glad to hear, because John Bolton, they keep asking him, are you getting in? Are you not getting in? And he's been kind of wishy-washy about the whole thing. Thank you, Elizabeth. He
Thank you,
actually
Elizabeth.
said, I don't even remember what show, but he actually said yesterday that he's still thinking about it. But if it seems that the field is getting so big that it would guarantee Trump just plurality simply with the numbers, then he will not get in. And I thought, okay, well,
At least he understands that.
yeah, like he gets that
from
part.
a strategic standpoint. That's pretty interesting. That it's so weird that so many other people don't.
I know.
You know.
Yeah, but clearly, the more people that get in, the more they're solidifying Trump as the nominee. So anyway, East Palestine, Ohio, still a humongous story that just is starting to get some more attention. But for the people that actually live there and are suffering and are watching their animals die all over the place and who are genuinely worried about their health and well-being now and in the future, with good reason, they just don't seem to be getting any answers that are acceptable. And now we're starting to hear reports about how the people that are coming to test soil, water, air quality, all of those things around some of these people's neighborhoods and homes are asking for the residents to sign waivers. And the people that are doing the testing are sometimes those responsible for the actual disaster. And so Tucker talked about this last night. He interviewed a couple that had somebody come and say, sign this waiver. And they are talking about their response to that right here.
He has just been asked to sign a waiver promising not to sue agencies monitoring the air near her property. We thought that was telling. Caitlin Schwartzwalder joins us tonight with her boyfriend, Chris Wells. Caitlin and Chris, thank you so much for joining us. Caitlin, if you'll just explain your experience with the official who asked you to sign a waiver.
Sure. So what I can tell you is that we would like to have independent testing done. And the people at Norfolk had suggested that they were going to offer services by an independent testing company to do air and water testing for us. When these people came to our property, the company was called CTEH. I call it CTEC. And they had approached our property, came to our driveway and said, we're here to test the water and soil. And I said, okay, so you guys are independent from Norfolk. And they said, well, not exactly. So then they handed us a contract. The contract stated that essentially Norfolk or any of its affiliates, were going to be, encroaching on the property. They were going to be doing the testing, and that it was essentially a hold harmless agreement. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but what I can tell you is that I did not want to risk anything for my future, the future of the business, by signing this contract. EPA was also there, and we had asked, Chris specifically had asked EPA if they could come in by themselves or without signing of any agreements, and they denied that.
Well, yeah, I mean, having the company who's train derailed test for the effects of the derailment is a little like putting Pfizer in charge of the FDA. Oh, I guess we did that. So, Chris.
Yeah. My God. Unbelievable. Don't sign anything.
She said on Glenn Beck's show, though, that like hundreds of people have already signed.
Oh my God.
I know. And it's like, so what? So they just don't get tested if they don't sign, they're just not going to know how badly they're screwed over? What in the world? And so that woman too was saying, if they wanted to hire, like if their business wanted to hire an independent testing firm to come out and do testing, it could be upwards anywhere from $15,000 to $50,000.
Oh my
so, they feel so helpless. I feel so helpless for them.
I do too. It's like people talk about crowdfunding. This is who needs the crowdfunding.
Exactly. Great.
These losers out there, they're like, I need to crowdfund because my pool needs to be fixed. Can you guys help me fix my pool in Southern California? And then people are like, oh, yeah, let me give you money. And then like losers will do that. And these are the people that need help, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, these are precisely the people. Like our government has screwed these people over. How dare they? How dare they go there and say, can you imagine being the person, the human being that walks in there with one of these crappy contracts and is like, here, like your animals are dying, you're probably going to get cancer. We did this to you. I did this to you. Here's a contract saying that I have no culpability in this. Who
And then
are
they're
you?
supposed to trust those same people to do the testing?
This is what I'm saying. But how can you be that person? How can you be the human being that looks at those people and gives them a contract and saying, I have no culpability, even though I did this to you? How can you sleep at night? How
Yeah.
can you do that? Who are you? I just don't understand. I can't wrap my brain around that.
It's incredible. Absolutely
Yeah.
incredible. I know people keep saying, where's Erin Brockovich? She's all over this, you guys. So if you
Right.
follow her on Twitter, and one of the very first things that she said was, if you feel unsafe, get out. Trust your instincts. And so she's trying to organize town halls. She's doing all the things. But I mean, the problem is that what are you supposed to do? If your business and your home and your entire life is in that city, you can't sell anything right now.
You can't
Like
get it,
there's no escape.
Exactly. And if your livelihood is there, it's not like you don't have the money to leave, it's like, think about it. Where do you go? Where do you go? Unless you have family that lives in another state, I guess you could probably go live with them. But imagine if you have kids. I mean, they have school there. It's like, what? It's not like you could just be like, okay, we're going to go. Bye. I mean,
and start your entire life over.
Not that easy. They have to uproot everything. I can't imagine what these people are going through. And you're right, Myra. Your health is everything.
It's true.
Your health is absolutely everything.
But that still doesn't make it any easier, right? Like you still yes, of course your health is super important, but if everything you have and own is wrapped up in that place,
right?
What are you supposed to do if you cannot sell it? Like you are literally stuck.
Yeah.
It's just awful. It's just awful in every way. Dana Perino also was talking about the Republican rep from that area. She, I guess, spoke to him to get his read on how he felt the federal government was doing in terms of whatever the federal government's responsibilities are in a disaster like this. And he actually said it's going okay. Here's her report.
I interviewed the congressman from that area, Republican Bill Johnson, and I asked him, are you satisfied with how the Biden administration is doing? And he said, yes, from what I'm hearing on the ground, the federal government is doing what it needs to do. We're getting the resources that we need. I don't know if the problem is at the state level, but what I did feel that the EPA administrator understood but doesn't know how to deal with is the lack of trust from the community about the data. He's saying that the tests are saying that it's fine, but the people actually don't believe that. And the people who are there, as you saw from our reporting, they're saying that they are getting headaches, they're uncomfortable, or they have children that they're afraid to put in the bathtub. I understood that when I heard that, because you can get bottled water and drink bottled water. I can understand that. That's an expense, but you can do that. But when the woman said she was afraid to bathe her children, that really struck home to me, because I don't know how that fear leaves. And then later on in the day, Martha McCallum had an interview with this young woman who said she doesn't necessarily trust the data. And what she's really worried about is she's worked hard, she saved up her money, she bought a home. And now she's afraid that that investment is going to be worthless. And that's really sad.
God. It breaks my heart.
It's horrendous. All of it is just.
These are such hardworking people, right? These are like lower middle class people that just want to work hard and like live their lives and raise their kids. And look what they did to these people. It's unacceptable.
There are no words like for how awful it all is. Okay, let's get to some more ridiculous and fun things, shall we? Because obviously the world is filled with bad news, but we got to make some light of stuff. And yesterday we talked. It was your whack, actually. Chelsea Handler did that ridiculous video about being childless, and everybody was reacting to that. Well, because of all the reaction on the Daily Show, she decided to double down, and you guys are about to witness the most. What's that quote? Is it the Shakespearean when methinks thou doth
protest
too much? That she is embodying that quote. This is a woman who wants so desperately for you to think that she's happy that she exudes misery in the process. Look at this.
I've made abundantly clear is that I do not want children. I say it on stage. I say it in interviews. It's the first thing I say to myself in the mirror when I wake up each morning, right before I tell myself, God, you're a dynamic woman. Kids don't respect me, and quite frankly, the feeling is mutual. And the fact is, there are millions of women just like me, but for some reason, every single one of us at some point in our lives is shamed by society for not wanting a baby. But these Fox News trolls are right about one thing. I am miserable. In fact, I was just scrolling through my Instagram feed the other day, realizing how miserable I am. I'm miserable on the beach. And then here I am miserable on the top of a mountain. And then here I am miserable scuba diving. And then I'm miserable again smoking a joint in a hot tub. Every day is truly a new circle of hell for me. The simple truth is that I'm not having a kid because I'm happier without them. And that's really not of anyone's concern but my own.
Then why do you make it everybody's concern?
Right, exactly.
And no, I don't hate kids. I just don't want them. That's what's so great about nieces and nephews. I love being an aunt. I'm crushing that role. Guess who gave each one of them their first edible? This girl. Yeah.
She's miserable. She is miserable.
Just keep talking about it and talking about it and talk. I mean, seriously, this is the thing. She's going to keep talking about it, about how not miserable she is.
Right? I mean, did she not? Does that like not sound like she's just trying so hard?
Oh my God, so hard.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
yikes,
it's like the meme that you sent me to put on our Instagram page yesterday. It's like it's the greatest. I wonder if I could like hold it up to everybody.
You guys, yeah, that was. Oh,
I
it's
will. I'll hold it
brutal.
up to you guys. I mean, it's so it perfectly encapsulates her. It's like the greatest thing ever. If I can show it to you guys, can you see? It's Chelsea Handler convincing you that she's happy after masturbating for the 7th time today. That's her.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, I thought that was hilarious that she was
It's
doubling
completely
down.
hilarious, right?
But not nearly as hilarious as reporters hounding Sam Brinton, who you may remember from such things as being the freaky weirdo that was hired by the Biden administration to like be in charge of nuclear waste and then went on to steal luggage.
Right.
You remember that guy?
Yeah, totally.
So he was due in court for the luggage stealing. And so reporters caught up with him, and you guys listen all the way through, because at first they start out asking him normal questions, but then they just get mean and it's
They devolve.
glorious.
It just devolves from
devolves.
there. Right.
It's beautiful. Listen to this.
Mr. Brinton, do you still have a security clearance? Are you going to plead guilty today? Did you steal any luggage today?
I cannot believe that guy was in charge of anything.
Who are you wearing?
You steal any luggage today? You gonna steal any luggage today? What are you wearing? I mean, it's like, did you see his face? His smug little
Oh my
face.
God.
He's just like,
I love it. I freaking love it.
God, I can't, that guy was in charge of stuff.
Like
He
important
made-
stuff.
Like he made a ton of money. We gave him a ton of money and benefits. Like this, who are these people?
Well, listen, Biden is very, very proud of his diverse administration. So
Yes, it's all about diversity and inclusion, you guys.
I just love that they were like, have you stolen any luggage today? And who are you wearing?
Who are you wearing? As he's like walking the catwalk.
It's my favorite. Okay.
It's the ridiculousness.
The reason
ridiculous.
for my name today is because I did a post yesterday that was entitled, "Someone Please Give This Girl Some Mucinex."
Was it girl or freak? Did you say girl? I think you said
know
freak.
what? I probably said, oh no, I think I
it
said
was
lunatic.
lunatic.
I think I
That's
said
right.
lunatic.
Mhm.
If you don't read our website, then you missed it. And this is one of the reasons that we tell you every day to check out our website. But in case you missed it, I'm going to show this video to you here. Now, I should tell you that this woman you're about to see is like a seriously popular person.
Is it a woman?
apparently-
Is it really
Yeah.
a woman? It's
Yeah,
not
she's like married, kids,
it's
the
a
whole nine yards.
biological woman. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And she is a comedian in the Seattle area. Apparently, she has well over 500,000 followers on TikTok. I mean, I've never heard of her. I've never seen her before this video started trending. But she apparently is a rather big deal. what she's doing with the word white throughout this video, I don't know the reason for it. Maybe somebody here does. Remember that scene from Dumb and Dumber when they're like, do you want to hear the most irritating sound in the whole wide world?
Yeah, I do.
This
is it.
now replaces that sound.
Right.
So buckle in. Here it is.
And this is what happens when you learn history written by white people who paint themselves as white saviors because white supremacy tells them they're the good guys. Korea's biggest heartbreak is our history of being torn apart into two separate countries for white people's fight for world domination.
What? Why?
Okay, first of all, that's annoying. It's so unbelievably annoying. Like my fist forms when I hear that. Okay, and then second of all, wait. So she's mad about Korea and white domination. And where does she live? San Francisco?
Seattle.
Okay, but she doesn't live in Korea, right?
No.
She lives in Seattle.
She's just super mad about colonization and white supremacy.
Even though she lives in Seattle. And she's American, she's
That's correct.
American. So she's a Korean American living in Seattle, enjoying America and all the unbelievable things that America has to offer her. But she's bitching about Korea.
Yeah. And the whole because her video apparently has captions, like in some places it has captions, and you can choose if you take the time to read through captions and like edit them before you release a video on TikTok, right? So like if you see that the auto caption has made a mistake and it has misinterpreted you or misheard you, you can fix any mistakes, right? So she went through that whole video and changed the spelling of the word white so that the H is first.
Right.
To match the way that she says it. And
Yeah.
I don't understand what that's about. Like if anybody knows what that is, if that's a thing that's supposed to mean something, I don't know, but it's freaking whack.
Also, she doesn't have to stay here if she doesn't like it. She doesn't have to stay.
Please
I mean, nobody's
see yourself
forcing
out.
her to stay here. I never understood that when people don't like it here. There's this new thing. It's called a one-way ticket out of here. You don't have to stay.
Debbie just
Problem
said
solved.
she's just another whack job.
Whack. Right.
Oh my God, I love it.
I don't get it. I just don't. And Harley Cat's like, what? Yeah. It could be a hairball.
Why?
It
Cool
could be a
Whip,
hairball,
yeah.
Crystal. Could be.
Yeah, it makes me want to
Cool
hand her a box
Whip.
of secrets or something. So
Right.
anyway, okay, on to your actual whack.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, you need to visit our website. We've already told you that, but do that if you haven't done that. You can see really crazy lunatics like the lady who says white. I can't do it like her because I don't have a lot of phlegm today. Okay. So fashion, you guys, it's really interesting these days. I put something on Mock's wall yesterday and she thought it was just like a one-off, but there's a whole fashion show that is this. We can show you. This is fashion now. Do you remember when fashion was like, models, supermodels up on a stage and they were really pretty, like Linda Evangelista and Cindy Crawford and Christy Turlington and all those pretty models? Now it's this. Now you just have to look like the ugliest. I don't even know what that is. What is that? This is what's happening. It's like, do you even have to be pretty to be a model anymore? You have to look like that thing.
What? And they say that this is a woman, and her name is Erin, but Erin with 2 A's. So I don't even understand.
So it's Aaron. It's
Aaron, yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
But then there were quotes in here where the people that loved it, they were saying obsessed.
Of course.
It's slaves.
So ridiculous they're saying that. Oh my God, I'm obsessed with it. It's so great, you guys. It's like, who's the designer? I didn't even catch who the designer is.
The designer, they call it a unique vision.
I mean, give me a break.
Let's see.
It's like these abstract artists who like throw snot on the wall and then they're like, this is abstract art, you guys. This is art. And then somebody comes along and Hunter Biden's like, oh yeah, I'll spend $500,000 on that. It's abstract art. It's blow art. That's blow art, you guys. I mean,
It says it's from the Colina Strata Fall 2023 show, and that this particular collection was called Please Don't Eat My Friends.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm not going to eat that. I mean, I don't know if you guys, I have no desire to eat that. I don't even want to look at it. But that is fashion now. Look it up. Fashion.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, look that up, you guys. Look it up. All right, time for some MyPillow talks. Get your MyPillow 2.0 version pillows. They are super high tech and super comfy. You can buy one get one at mypillow.com/.
What is that thing on the top right? What is that thing?
Is an actual creature.
What? It needs to be in that fashion show immediately. What is it? Is that a dog?
Well, I mean, it's what people call a dog. To me, that's like a doglet. Like, that's not a real dog.
Oh my god!
But it's in the dog family.
Is it okay?
It's fine. It's completely fine. It's just eating.
Wow. Okay.
I did see yesterday when we were doing talks that someone was mad that there was no cat. It was like not equal opportunity.
We have to be inclusive of the cats.
So here you go. Here is a cat.
Oh, you still got that attitude? Come on, girl. Come on, girl. You know that's just a little bite. You acting like you don't miss me. You don't miss me? You don't miss me? How about now? When I touch you like this and I hold you like that, it's so hard to believe, but it's all coming back.
I love that. I love that, dude.
And for the cat people, please explain what breed this is.
Oh my
What
gosh.
in the world?
I love that. That looks like me, like in the morning before I take a shower. Seriously. That's what I look like, you guys. Right there. Little less hair. But I mean, that's me.
Oh my God. That is
I
hilarious.
need that cat. I need it.
Does
anybody know? Daniel
quite a
says it's
cat.
Ewok. It's an Ewok
cat. I mean, they're very,
Trash
very
kitty.
interesting.
Yeah.
See, I just prefer dogs because of
So
this.
what do you do for a living? My best, Tom. I do my best, okay? That's what I do. So what do you do for a living? My best, Tom. I do my best, okay? That's what I do.
Oh my God, I love it. It's so great. It's so great.
Now you sent me this amazing talk yesterday. This is what it looks like
It's
when
so-
Gen Z teaches World War I. This is amazing.
It's
I would
fantastic.
have loved it. I would have
It's
loved
fantastic.
being in this class.
Yeah, actually, I have to give credit to my it was my daughter-in-law. She said this to me. She's like, "This is unbelievable." She goes, and I really like it. And I'm like, "Okay,
I love it. I
Yeah, it's great.
absolutely love it. Check this out.
So it's 1914, and this whole thing starts when this guy, Franz Ferdinand, goes and catches the fade. But he wasn't just some rando. He was the Prince of Austria-Hungary. And the guy who unalived him was from Serbia. So Austria-Hungary declares war on Serbia. Makes sense. But Serbia is BFS with Russia. So Russia was like, say less, we got you, bro. Now, it could have just stayed between those three, but Germany had to be the main character and declare war when literally nobody asked. But TBH, their empire was pretty mid, and they had been pressed about it for a while. So now we got a world war, and the boys were like, all right, let's go. Let's light work home by Christmas. But that was actually propaganda and total cap because they ended up being in the trench for 3 years, and it was super sad. Meanwhile, Russia completely fumbles the bag with the whole Tsar Nicholas II communism situation, so they drop out. And it's looking like Germany might get that dub because America's staying out of it. We don't want that smoke. But then this German guy, Zimmerman, we catch him secretly DMing Mexico, telling them to invade us. Thank goodness, bestie Great Britain found the receipts and told us. Also, Germany has this new weapon called the submarine, and they're going around and sinking random passenger ships. So America has no choice but to enter the chat.
I love
Now,
it.
once we do, Germany and the Central Powers totally get ratioed, and Germany eventually surrenders, and the Allies totally cancel them with the Treaty of Versailles.
Beautiful.
Isn't that
Beautiful.
great? I mean, it's fantastic. I'm going to show that to my daughter. I love it.
It's the best teaching of World War I have ever seen ever.
It's great.
You want kids to be engaged in history?
That's
you
how
want
you
them
do
to
it.
like it? That's how you do.
There you go. Ratio. David doesn't understand what ratioed is. He wants to know what ratio is.
Oh, that's a hard one to
It's kind of
explain.
like on Twitter when somebody says something stupid, everybody just pummels them with insults. That's
well,
what
and
ratio it is.
technically that's where it started, right? So it means that if you post something and you get more negative comments than you do hearts or
Positive.
likes,
Mhm.
you've been ratioed.
You've been
And
ratioed.
so you can extrapolate that, which obviously she did, which is great.
Right.
So I think a lot of people are going to relate to this. Sometimes when you tell a teenager something, it's like you say it and it looks like they're taking it in, but they're just not. And it
Mhm.
can be very frustrating, as you will see this woman is experiencing.
It's hot on the bottom. It's hot on the bottom. Okay. It's motherfucking hot on the bottom.
I mean, she just kept reaching for the bottom. And
I
you're
know.
like,
It's
what
like
are
they
you
don't,
doing?
because they don't get it. Like they're just because they're thinking about 14 other things that are not you or the heat on the bottom.
I wanted to share a really, really lovely story about pet adoption that is just this feel good, wonderful, wonderful story. I know everybody is going to love this. Check this out.
Okay, guys, this is the cutest thing I have ever seen in my entire life, and I am so pumped to have kind of played a small part in this. So I follow this guy on TikTok. His name is A Guy with a Golden. He's got a golden retriever named Teddy, and they go and do all these fun little activities. And just watch this video.
This is my buddy Teddy, and every Tuesday we spend the entire day going on amazing adventures. But we decided we wanted to give a day that special to a pup that wasn't so lucky. So we visited our local shelter in Anderson, South Carolina, and we met a sweet puppy named Birch. Birch has been in the shelter for months, and he's only 2 years old. He was so happy to get out of the shelter. We took him on a walk so he could get to know us, and he was obsessed with the ducks. He got some treats, got some water, and then headed to get what may be his first pup cup. Then we headed to PetSmart so Birch could pick out a toy. We played with a couple different kinds, but he chose this squirrel and carried it all around the store. He checked out the fish, and then we made him a custom name tag for whoever adopts him with a special note for us. Then he got his toy, and we headed out to the truck. It was time for our next stop to go see Grandma.
Oh,
It's amazing
so
that Birch
cute.
has been in the shelter for months because he's such a sweet puppy. After we met Grandma, we headed to Tipsy Taco, and Birch let me know he wanted a chicken taco. And he enjoyed it. Look at the tail wag. We didn't have much time left with Birch, so we got him some more exercise and got him wore out, and he took a little nap on the way back to the shelter. We returned him with a tub full of goodies, and his adoption fee is taken care of. Don't let him spend another night in the shelter. Contact Anderson County Paws.
What an amazing day he gave that dog, right?
But was he adopted?
It gets better, yes.
So I have a friend that happens to live in Anderson, South Carolina. So I sent him this video and I'm like, oh my gosh, go get Birch right now. What a cutie pie. And he's like, oh, so cute. Haha. Laughs it off, whatever. This was yesterday. And then I get this text message today.
He
got the
got
dog.
him?
Yes.
Oh my God. That is so sweet.
He got the damn dog. So shout out to A Guy with a Golden. Shout out to the Anderson County Paws Shelter. Shout out to TikTok for making this happen and bringing them together. I am so excited. This is the cutest thing ever. Y'all, I can't.
That's so sweet.
Isn't it? Sometimes TikTok does good things, you guys. Sometimes. It actually
Sometimes,
does
you're
some good
right.
things.
I mean, it is like the 14th portal to hell. But other than that, you're right. That
Take
was very,
that,
very
China.
sweet.
How do you like that story, China?
That's right, China. You can suck it. I know
That's
you're trying
one
to ruin
dog
our kids.
you're not going to eat.
Right. You're not going to put that in the market and eat it.
That's right.
God, jerks. Yeah, that's super sweet. That was.
Last one is it's not, I don't want to say political, but it is a little more topical to the things that we usually discuss. And that is this woman's response to people like Jeffrey Marsh and other horrific creatures on TikTok. I love this take.
I don't normally talk about my personal views, but I've been seeing videos all over my feed today, and I've been seeing so many things from so many creators that I feel that I just can't ignore it. So let's get into it. We're going to be addressing trans white women specifically. And to be clear, not all trans white women, just some of you. Okay, just some of you. Keep that in mind. there's a trend going around, especially within the newer generation, and I'm just going to call it what it is. It's your misogyny. It's your learned, ingrained misogyny that you brought over with you when you were still associating as a male and you forgot to leave it outside before you walked in the woman's front door. Some quick examples of misogyny are, you're a birthing person, not a mother. It's chest feeding, not breastfeeding. Male and female people and intersex people all have breast tissue. Males can get breast cancer. All breast tissue is breast tissue. There is no difference. It's all breast tissue. Trans women get periods too. No, you don't. A period is literally the shedding of the uterine lining. What you have are the effects of hormones, which everyone of all sexes gets all throughout the year, I'm afraid to tell you. To have a period literally requires ovulation and menses, which you cannot do without a uterus. And many biological women don't get it anyway, which is fine. But the literal term of period requires those things. And then biological women tell you you're wrong because you would have no clue what a biological woman goes through at all. And then you try to correct them, which is literally mansplaining. Telling
Exactly.
a biological woman that they don't know more about themselves than you do, someone who's not a biological woman, is literally market grade misogyny. Coming into the woman's space that you were invited into with open arms, by the way, and then creating new rules and new labels without consulting any biological woman in that process, and then demanding we use it even though we told you we don't want to respectfully, is literally just market grade misogyny. This lady says if you don't like being called cis, you're a white supremacist. Need I say how dangerous it is to dilute the definition of terms to fit whatever kind of social marketing you're doing at the time? This person, all over my feed today, saying ridiculous things. Biological sex is absolutely real. Just because you have a certain sex doesn't mean you can identify a different way. It is part of you. It is important to you. Literally affects everything from bone structure to organ placement, symptoms of diseases, how you respond to medication, allergies you might develop, all of it. You cannot come into the woman's space and then disrespect biological women who created that space. The trans community has done so much for biological women. We're trying to help them and save them. Did we ask you to do that? It's the classic damsel in distress needs saving, which is just, again, more misogyny that you learned along the way that you forgot to unlearn before you walked in our front door.
I
love her.
Isn't that
I
great?
absolutely love her. Yeah, I do.
I
Now,
love
if only some doctors could get what she's saying.
Yeah.
If there'd be some medical freaking doctors who went to school for what, like 12 years, who could like just say that video to those people who walk in their front door.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do that. I mean, because she seems like a pretty smart cookie. And I
That
don't
was
know
some
if she
good
went to
stuff.
school for 12 years. I don't know if she did. I'm just going to assume that she probably didn't. But
No,
yeah.
I don't think she's a doctor. She's just a person who's sick and tired of all this bullshit.
Right. A very smart person who's sick and tired of this bullshit. Right.
So anyway, those are your talks for today.
Great talks. I'm going to bring it in. Are we going to bring it in? I'm bringing it in,
we are.
Cash. Hey, Cash. Come on, Cash. Come here. He's ignoring me. He's got his butt turned to me. He's ignoring me. You going to bring it in? Come on. Come here. Bring it in. Come here. Here he comes.
He's coming.
Okay, he's coming.
There he is.
Come here.
It's happening, you guys. It's gonna happen.
He's not flapping. I'm going to get you.
You didn't kiss him hard enough.
Come here. You got to give me your head. He's just snorting and running away. Oh, there's a flap.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
He just wanted to do it off camera.
He just snorted and flap. Okay, you guys, everybody have a wonderful Thursday. I'm really glad tomorrow's Friday. Is it just me?
No, I am also very, very glad.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that it's Friday. You guys have the best Thursday ever. Let's all make it count. And we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.